Hey guys, what's new? I was just filming some skits and then I was gonna film this freaking video and I was like, I have to share the family the fit right now. So, yeah. Before I take this all off, just bask in it real quick. Damn, she's fire. Damn, she's fire. Today's video is not clickbait whatsoever. And we'll get into it in a second. But go watch the skits. They're up on my shorts or on my TikTok. So yeah. Alright, let's get into the story time. Am I right? 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 Man, it is so hot in this car. Oh, it's so hot. Genuinely need to blast the AC right now. Let's go drive to a super secret spot as I blast the AC because it's hot as baloney right now. I'm driving all over the grass. This is just not safe at all. I'm also not wearing a seatbelt. Don't suggest that. Don't do that, guys. Someone is walking by right now. I'm gonna blast the AC really quick and then we're gonna get into the video because it's so hot. It's 80 degrees and I'm not having the AC on during the video. Yeah, let's just waste my gas for YouTube. How do I want to film this? Man, I didn't think this through. I think you guys are gonna have to be in the passenger seat. I think I'm gonna have to be in the passenger seat. I never sit in the passenger seat of my own car. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a freaking story time and it's gonna be a good one. My car is making noises that I've never heard. That's kind of scary. This is how I got fired.
You're fired.
I got fired from one of my previous jobs. I think it's a hilarious story that I'm gonna tell you guys today. I had the AC blasting and it just got so hot in this car within a minute. This is gonna be a great video. I have receipts and everything and I'm so excited to show you guys. I was a little afraid to put this on the internet just because it doesn't look good on me, you know, saying I got fired. But it is a funny story and it's been a few months and I think the internet deserves to know that normal people get fired too. So, where to begin? Last summer, I got a job at an ice cream place. Very, very stereotypical. It was a new ice cream place that just opened up in my town, and my mom found me the job, and I did not have a job at that point. Actually, I did. I was working at and I wanted to off myself every time I went into work, so I needed a new job. I also had bought a car at this point, and I was almost turning 19 in a few months, and I needed a car. Like, it was getting insane. So I found this job. I was like, okay, I hate working with food, but money is money, bread is bread. Let's get our bread up, not our funny up. Let's do this shit, okay? So I went in for an interview, and they hired me on the spot, and I was like, slay, this is awesome. This is amazing for me. Little did I know that after only 1 month of working there, I would get fired over text. I'm not joking. This actually happened. Man, if y'all hear me complaining about the freaking how hot it is, don't get mad at me, okay? I'm in Florida. It's 80 degrees and I'm in a freaking black car. I actually can't. It's too hot. My camera's overheating. It's like hot to the touch. I genuinely lasted all of 3 minutes. Look at this. I was outside for 3 minutes. I'm not even joking. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is Florida, you know. I don't even think I started the story. So let's start again. I got this summer job, was planning on having it for a while, only had it for a month, did not know that once I got the job. The two people that hired me, no hate, no shade, did not know what they were doing. It was so obvious. It was their first business, which like no hate, no shade, but that in turn goes into why I got fired. It'll all make sense. Just wait. So I get hired on the spot and they're like, you need to come in 2 days to do training. And also you're going to do training the day you start working, the day we open the shop. And already that was a red flag, and I was really nervous because I never really worked with food and I didn't really know how that worked. And also I was going to be working and serving customers while I'm doing my training, and I was just nervous. Come on, I was nervous. But I was still excited because I needed the money. I really need to buy myself a car. So I go into work on the first day and I meet this girl, and I like her. I mean, I liked her at the time. We no longer talk because she ghosted me. So she also ended up getting fired too, along with like 3 other people. So I'm not the only one that got fired, y'all. I'm not the only one. Let me interject and film this intermission. I'm currently editing this video right now. Actually, rewind. I'm extremely ill, if you couldn't tell by everything. Christmas tree is still up. It's March 10th. I don't want to hear about it. The reason the audio is so bad at this point is because I was standing right under the AC and I didn't think that through. So it's gonna sound like we're on an airplane. And I apologize for that. I'll get this YouTube thing right one day. Just you watch. Also, this video is like really chaotic and confusing, and I grappled with refilming it, but honestly, I spent an hour and a half filming this, so you're getting it anyways. Okay, enjoy. I love you all, and I'm gonna kiss you on the lips. Anyways, so obviously they had a lot of stress because this was their first business. So sometimes they would like say backhanded, comments, and I was just like, okay, whatever, it's your first business. Like, I'm just gonna chill in the corner and get paid my minimum wage and just do my duty, scoop an ice cream. Time went on, I was still working there. I was picking up a lot of shifts and not complaining about it. That is a big part of the story. I never complained. Keep in mind, as I said in the beginning of the story, I did not have a car. So I had to rely on my brother or my mom taking me to this job, and they had their jobs. They were going out of their way to take me to this job, and I was never complaining about the horrible hours I was getting because I was getting hours that I specifically said I could not work. I know you guys have had those employers. You'll tell them, hey, I can't work on Thursday from 11 to 12, and they will put you on Thursday at 11 to 12. And then when you say, hey, I don't know if you saw what I said, I can't actually work that day, they will say, oh, too bad. Literally. That kept happening. I kept saying, hey, I would rather work the later hours because I don't have anyone to take me the earlier hours. And they kept saying, well, this is the only time we can put you. So I bit my tongue and I was like, you know what? I need the money. I've only been working here a few weeks. Let me just do this. It got to a point where I was like, hey, I really cannot work these hours. I literally have no way to get there. And my boss goes to me, can't you just Uber? Can I just Uber? Can I just spend $15 on an Uber when you don't even pay me that much? Hey, I'd love to Uber if you were going to pay for it, but no, just don't put me those hours. Like, am I crazy? I don't think I'm crazy here. Anyways, so that was the start of my tension with my boss. That was annoying, but you know what? It wasn't that bad. I would always, again, show up to work on time or before time, clock in, and my boss would moan to me about something I did wrong, and I would bite my tongue in. Be a good employee. There was one time where I was doing the dishes in the back, and I got in trouble and yelled at because I was taking too long to do the dishes. And then my boss decides to go up to me and go, you clearly never wash dishes at home, do you? Man. Again, whatever. I bit my tongue. I was like, whatever, like, just stick it out. Please, just stick it out. Like, it'll get better. It did not get better. It actually got a lot worse. Whatever. Time kept going on. Everything was, like, good or whatever. My boss was getting annoying, but, like, every boss is annoying, and I was probably an annoying employee messing up. Benefit of the doubt. Here's where it starts to get pretty freaking bad. My grandparents don't live near my family, so they were coming down one weekend, and it was gonna be the first time we were gonna see them in a long time. And my mom really, really wanted to see them, obviously, as a daughter would want to see their mother and father. So a few days before, I asked my boss, hey, I've always come into work, I've always done my duties, is there any way I can drop this shift and give it to someone else? My boss, deadass, looks at me and goes, that's not my job. You figure it out. So that's exactly what I did. I started asking around. When I tell you, this is how you know you have shitty ass coworkers. I asked everyone. I begged and pleaded. And it wasn't like I was going to a rave or a party or I was just too lazy. Everyone, sorry, I'm busy, I can't. Sorry, I just don't want to work it, I can't. You can't help me out this one time. I've always taken your shifts when you needed the help. You can't help me. The amount of frustration I felt trying to deal with that was so annoying. And I honestly low-key begged my boss. I was like, hey, please, like, is there any way? And I think this is good to add in. His son and his daughter work there. He honestly could have asked them. So you know what I did? I went to work the next morning because no one could cover my shift. In hindsight, looking back, I should not have let them treat me like that. It may not seem like that big of a deal to you guys, but like just being in the moment and everyone not helping you out is so frustrating, especially when it deals with like family. I get it. 1 or 2 people obviously could have been busy and couldn't have helped, but you're telling me out of 10 people, every single person was busy from 12 to 4 on Saturday morning? Really? But you know what, whatever. I show up to work the next morning and I do my freaking duty as an ice cream scooper because apparently I'm very much needed at 12 to 4 on a Saturday. Let me just add this in really quick. At this point, the tensions between my boss and I were kind of getting high. And another reason for that is because I had found out that 2 of my coworkers that I really liked had gotten fired. The place had only been open almost a month at that point, and 2 people had gotten fired already. One girl got fired because she had to leave during the middle of her shift because of a family emergency. My boss fired her the next morning. Another girl got fired because she got no hours. She literally got 0 hours. And then she asked my boss, can I get more hours? I really need them. And my boss said, actually, no, you're fired. Man, I wish I was making this up. I'm really not. So at this point, after all that happened and people were starting to get fired and it was getting a little toxic in the workplace, suddenly my hours started declining a little bit. But I was like, you know what? It's okay. He has other workers. Here's where it gets funny. It's not funny at all, but here's where it gets funny. I was at a car dealership. It happened to be the same day that the schedule was getting updated for the next 2 weeks. So as I'm at the car dealership, I checked the schedule. 0 hours. Man, when I tell you, my heart dropped. I looked at the car I was gonna buy and I was like, I just can't. I just cannot. I started freaking out because I was at this car dealership about to buy a car and I had gotten 0 hours, which in my head was like, oh shit. You're getting fired. Hey, you're getting fired. I told my boss, I was like, hey, is there any reason why I'm not on the schedule? What's going on? Is there anything I did? At this point, I remember this so vividly. I was sitting in the car dealership, getting ready to sign the papers to get my car while texting my boss, basically getting fired. We just kept going back and forth. It was just back and forth, not really good communication because it was over text. Then basically he says, hey, how about you come in and we discuss this in person? And I was like, that sounds amazing. Wednesday around 12 p.m. And he goes, that's completely fine with me. That was set. The next Wednesday I was going to come in and talk to them and figure this out. He texted me back maybe a few hours later and he's like, actually, that time doesn't work. I was like, hey, 12 p.m. is the only time I can come in, but after 5 p.m. is genuinely the only time because I don't have a ride. And he just goes, sorry, that's the only time we had. And I told him, I was like, hey, I don't have a car. I don't know how I'm supposed to come in. This is where my boss starts to get sassy with me. He goes, the fact that you don't have a car or can't get a ride is not my problem. Now be aware that you won't be scheduled until we have this conversation. Bro, when he sent that message, you should have seen my face. This is where I started to get a little sassy. I hit him back with, This is a work conversation that should be held during work hours. Hey, that's a pretty good response in my opinion. He goes, I cannot schedule you until we go over the issues that we are unsatisfied with, and there's a lot. Let me just tell you, prior to this point, there was never a time where he told me, hey, you have a lot of issues that we need to talk about. This was so random and out of the blue. I mean, out of the blue, but like the tension was building. So then I hit him with hey, you've been firing a lot of people. I have a feeling I'm about to be fired. And I guess that was just the last straw that broke the camel's back, because the next message is the message where he fired me. You know, maybe I am the problem, but man. He basically goes, that's not true. That's a very serious accusation and it's false. Our intention was to never let you go, but now we have to let you go. And he ends it with, have a good one. I send one last little sting message. I go, as a boss, your behavior has been very unprofessional. You have fired 3 employees and the store has been open a little over a month. Can you provide me with an exact reason as to why you're firing me? And then he does not respond. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I got fired. I got fired. But man, can I cross that off my bucket list that I got fired from a job. Banned from life on Tinder and fired was not 2 things that I thought were going to happen in the same year, but 2023 really just got me there. Honestly, I don't even think this was that crazy of a story. I just cannot believe the fact that I got fired, and when I tell people that, a lot of people are shocked. I guess that's just not a normal thing for people to get fired. But yeah, I did get fired. That is the moral of the story. I do work somewhere else now, and I also do YouTube kind of as a job because I do get paid from YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. Okay, guys. Have an amazing day. You're beautiful. You're stunning. You're sexy. Oh my God, I love you. Bye.